Hey guys, thank you very much for joining the live stream or watching the recording. Honestly, I have no idea what I meant by knitting an immigration sweater, but I came up with the idea like a couple of weeks ago and I just left it open, and today felt like a good day to use it. So I guess I will be knitting the sweater from the answers to your questions, or maybe even from the questions. So again, this is a live stream when I will be answering your questions live. So for those of you joining, just ask your question in the comments, in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. And if no one joins, I'll leave and we'll go sleep. So either way, it works out. So hopefully someone will be joining soon, because I don't have really any funny stories I could share. I could maybe share some like interesting stories from like our daily practice about different types of clients and different types of situations. But I might actually do another live stream just for that, because there is quite a lot of those. So guys, if you have any questions about immigration, about visas, residence permits, housing, health insurance, starting a business in the Czech Republic, whatever questions you might have, please share it in the comments, in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer those right away during the live stream. Again, I usually plan these kind of live Q&As for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, but it often ends up being like 45 minutes or 1 hour or something. So let's see how it turns out today. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions about visas, residence permits in the Czech Republic, Czech health insurance, starting a business, anything like that, please lay it on me. Nazim, hi, how are you? I'm good, how are you? And where are you from, maybe, Nazim? Rovena Casino, finally, guys, you appeared here again. Thank you very much. Hi, Rovena. I shared some good news with you earlier today. Not exactly with you, though, but hopefully yours will come soon as well. And guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comments. We've gone 2.5 minutes without a question, which means you need to rely on me talking, which means kind of a boring session. So yeah, guys, please, if you have any questions regarding anything related to moving to the Czech Republic, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll go. Nazim, I'm from Bangladesh. How can I get a work permit? Okay. Hola, Ala Omar, nice hat. Thank you very much. I like it the most of all the hats I have. So I wear it from time to time. I'm from Bangladesh. How can I get a work permit? Honestly, this is one of the questions. I made a video about this like a long time ago. It's called Real or Fake. So go to my channel if you don't follow me yet, or you're not subscribed, or however it's named here on YouTube. Just do that, go to my channel, search for Real or Fake or work permit, and you will get all the answers there. I've made a video specifically about this. The thing is, if you're from Bangladesh and you want to work in the Czech Republic, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. And anytime soon, I mean in the next couple months or even years. So I would recommend finding a different country to move to, because the most likely thing to happen to you is that you will get scammed and you will lose a lot of money. Or a lot of, might not be a lot of for you, like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 euros, whatever. The thing is that there are quotas. You're from Bangladesh, so you have to submit any applications through a Czech embassy in New Delhi in India. And there are quotas in New Delhi, meaning that only some amount of people can apply every year for any type of like work related visas, an employee card or a seasonal visa, for example, or business visa. That there are the quotas actually. And even if you get an employment contract, which you what you probably mean by work permit, you mean an employment contract, so you will never be able to use it. In the best case, you will be able to use it for a seasonal work visa, but it cannot be extended. It cannot be turned into anything else in the Czech Republic other than a blue card, which means that it will be useless. The maximum time you will be able to spend here is 9 months, and then you need to go back if you are lucky enough to get a real thing and even get an appointment. So I would probably not really try to get into the Czech Republic, and I would try another country like maybe Poland or some other countries where it might be way easier to get an employment type of visa or residence permit. Ala Omar, are there agencies in Brno to help find a job with HPP contract? I'm sure there are. There are plenty of different personal agencies. It just depends on what kind of job you are looking for and also what kind of residence permit do you have in the Czech Republic already. Because in some cases you can work freely, which means that employers can hire you immediately, basically the same day or next day, whatever, if you're a student or if you have a family reunification residence permit after a certain amount of time. In some cases, you cannot really start working until a couple months later, and that's not really appealing to companies. So not even an agency might really help you with that. So probably that's my answer. Islamic Masalah, whatever that means. Remia Vici Hayan. Hi Remia, thank you for joining. Meta United. Hello my friend. Just the man I need. My name is Lachie. Sorry for mispronouncing. I'm from Australia. I've been planning a move to Czech Republic. My goal is to get PR eventually. How would I go about it? Okay. I actually like that question a lot. I would say the first thing you need to do is really sit down and think it through. And what I mean by that is what exactly you want to do, because maybe like how long you want to stay would be the first thing. You mentioned that you want to stay to get a PR, which means at least 5 years or longer, depending on what type of, potentially shorter if you marry a Czech citizen or EU citizen, but generally 5 years or longer. So you need to approach the situation in a bit different way than if you were coming here just for a year or two. So, okay, you want to stay longer. That's good. Or long. Now, what do you want to do? Or like, what is the most important for you? So like, do you just want to get here in any possible way and then just stay the 5 years? Or you would like to like maybe I don't know what's your age, but maybe you're after college and you would like to continue your education in the Czech Republic. So definitely the first step should be like thinking about like what exactly you want to do here. What is your long-term goal? Not only in terms of I want to get a PR at some point, but also like how you get there. What do you want to do here? If you want to study, if you want to get employed, or if you want to teach English, which is the standard way for Australians, Americans, Canadians, like the native English speakers to get here, or if you want to do something else, because based on that, you will choose a different type of visa or residence permit to apply for, and that will require a completely different set of documents and completely different approach. So definitely this would be the first step. And then once you know this, because there are big differences between different types of visas. For example, a student visa has some advantages and some disadvantages. So advantage is that under a student visa or student residence permit, you can work freely. So if you come here as a student and you find a job tomorrow, you can start working tomorrow. That's not really possible with other types of visas. On the other hand, from the PR perspective, the student visa or student residence permit only counts as half. So if you've been studying here for 5 years, that only counts as 2.5 years towards the permanent residency application. So there are many nuances probably, which you need to take into consideration. So definitely this would be the first thing to think about it. I would of course recommend speaking with us, one of us, me maybe, or one of my colleagues, or at least someone who knows. Don't really ask people. You can ask people on Facebook like to get some ideas and to like maybe widen your horizon in this perspective. But then I would, if you get to the point or when you get to the point that you say, okay, I wanna do it now. If it's a month from now, 3 months from now, 5 months from now, I don't really care, but I wanna do it now. Then definitely would be best to speak with someone who can help you find the best way forward based on your long-term goals and expectations. probably that would be the way to go about it. Islamic, nice to look in for you today. Thank you very much for joining. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Nazim, actually I want to know the way of getting a work permit in the Czech Republic. Again, getting a work permit doesn't really, and again, what you probably mean by getting a work permit is getting an employment contract. If you mean something else, let me know. But in most cases, that means that you want to get an employment contract. It makes no sense though to get an employment contract if the employment contract, let's say, if the employment contract is not good enough for a blue card, meaning that your salary is at least, say, 65,000 crowns a month, and you have at least bachelor's degree, and the company is willing to sponsor you for the blue card. Because if you don't get a job offer for a blue card, the chances that even if you get an employment contract, that you will ever get a visa or residence permit based on the employment contract are basically zero or very limited. So that's why I'm saying that it makes no sense to even apply for a work permit or employment contract or anything, because even if you get it, you will hardly ever get a visa based on that. So, yeah. Okay. Those were good questions. Meta United. Okay. I met a lot of Czech people and I love your culture. Been learning your language. You've been learning the language. Okay. So what can you say so far? On Facebook or where? No, on TikTok. I used to be active on all the social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. But I don't do it that much anymore. I primarily focus on YouTube. But there I used to also invite people to the live streams. I'm not sure if it's possible here, but I would test your Czech if it was. And love the country. My dream is to eventually live there, work, be part of the society. By the way, I'm 23. Also, I got a second question. Okay, we'll get to the second question. If you're 23, again, like, think about what you want to do. If you know what you want to do, that's good. If you don't know, that might be a different approach. Because the thing is, the easiest for an Australian, the easiest way to get a Czech visa would be getting into teaching English. If you don't have any qualification in that, if you haven't studied or didn't study university to teach, or you don't have the TEFL certification or something, then just come in here, doing a TEFL certificate or going through the TEFL certification course for 4 weeks, and then applying for a visa as an English teacher would be the easiest way to go about it. But then you already need to kind of plan a step ahead. If you can see yourself as an English teacher in the long term, that's perfect. But if not, then you should definitely have like the next step figured out. Because the thing is that if you come here and start teaching English, that's a good way of like entering the country, getting the visa, but it kind of can get you stuck, I would say. Because if you start teaching, the teachers are not really, like, especially freelance teachers are not really well paid in the Czech Republic. So you will be, if you want to learn, I don't know, like, what's with my tongue today. Anyway, if you want to earn some decent amount of money to live well here, like to be able to travel, maybe save a bit, go out from time to time, you really need to teach a lot. Okay, you need to take plenty of lessons, you need to teach a lot, you need to do a lot of preparation, and slowly maybe start getting your private students who pay more than schools and all that. And before you set up yourself the way that you can actually save some money and you can travel and all that, that might take months, years in some cases. And if you don't really like teaching, if you don't see yourself as doing that, that's kind of difficult position to be in, because if you have the trade license, you cannot really get any other types of jobs. You can, but they must be freelance in nature. You cannot, like, if you have a trade license, you cannot work as a receptionist. You cannot work in a corporate. You cannot do anything which is not freelance in nature. So might be pretty difficult for you to then change. Of course, it's easier if you already are here and you have a valid visa, be it the business visa as an English teacher, but still would be good to have the next step planned already. I will get to the second question because I guess it's after Christian's Kondemis question. So, Europe is doomed. I'm EU citizen. I would never move into a banana republic such as Portugal or Slovakia. You're gonna end up to food bank and homeless. Inflation kick the ass. Cheers from Italy. Vice Lion. Okay, thank you for sharing this dark opinion of yours. I don't completely agree with that. I actually don't agree with that at all. But I guess you have some experience which makes you say this. So hope it changes for you. Or not, up to you. Nazim, thanks. My pleasure, even though they were not really good news, I guess. Ala Omar, when I get my master's degree from VUT Brno, VUT, then I go back home. Can I get a job seeking visa easily? I'm from Iraq. Well, if you're from Iraq, definitely don't go back home because you will hardly get back here again. So you can get the job seeker residence permit only if it goes like right after your studies, your student residence permit. So you have to apply for the job seeker residence permit when you are still on your student residence permit. If you leave the country or if you let your visa expire or whatever, if you let your visa expire, if your visa expires before you apply, then you can never get the job seeker residence permit again. That's unless you finish another degree in the Czech Republic. It's not like in some other countries like Germany or somewhere else where you can get a job seeker visa to come there and look for a job. Czech Republic doesn't offer this. They only offer it to students who just finished a Czech university. Then you can get the job seeker residence permit to find a job or start your own business. But other than that, no, not really. So definitely don't go back if you want to get the job seeker residence permit. Lorraine CA, hello, I'm married, my Czech husband in Dominican Republic. I married my Czech husband in Dominican Republic. His last name is Kožnar, and they did put it as Koznar in the certificate because they said they don't have the keyboard here. Yeah, that makes sense. If I got my passport with that wrong last name, I would have problems with immigration. That's a good question. I don't really think so. Of course, it would be best to have that there because even the Czech Immigration, the MOI, if you have some weird like characters, like in Turkey, they have like these weird like S's or stuff like that. They always try to do it and put it into your residence permits. So if it was possible, I would definitely do that. But if it's not possible and they just did that without the hook, then honestly, I think that will be fine because if all the other like information match, like your date of birth, your full name, the surname before marriage, your passport number, all that, if all that matches, it's obvious that they only did it. And especially if you have that in your marriage certificate, because the marriage certificate or the name in your passport should be the same as in your marriage certificate. So if that is the same, which will probably be the case because they already put the name without the hook to your marriage certificate, and then if they put it into your passport, that will actually be the same. So I don't really think there will be a problem, and if there was, that would have to be a very specific type of decision maker to make trouble out of this. Meta United, a long story. Okay, I so far have time. But my reputation in Australia has been slandered and defamed, etc. by a group of people, and I had death threats. I believe my life in danger, had a gun pulled on me. Okay, this is getting a bit more serious than what I expected. When you said a long story, I thought like, yeah, I met a friend in like Italy when I was there and I want to visit him. Okay, this is a bit more serious. People put in death threats in my letterbox, police taking no action at all, and lots of bad stuff. People said I may be able to claim refugee under the EU human rights. I'm not trolling, by the way. I generally am in a bad situation here. I feel so. Well, honestly, like the refugee status is primarily meant for people who need a visa to come to the Czech Republic. You, as an Australian citizen, you don't need a visa to come to the Czech Republic for up to 90 days. And then you can also apply for a Czech visa through any Czech embassy. So you can basically come to the Czech Republic, collect all the required documents for whatever visa you want to apply for, and go to Dresden in Germany, for example, and submit your application there and just wait in the Czech Republic or outside, depending on how much is left out of your 90 days. So you don't really need to be worrying about any refugee status. That anyway is not something the Czech Republic gives really easily. Yeah, other than like but whatever. So I would definitely not go for the refugee status because it's way more complicated to get. It's kind of limiting in what you can do. And like as a long-term option, it doesn't really make sense, especially because you have the 90 days visa-free stay, so you can come here and just apply for any type of visa somewhere around. So I would definitely go this way and not the refugee way. How many months is the job seeker visa validity? It's a residence permit. It's not a visa. It's not a sticker in your passport. It's a residence card, and the validity is 9 months. Basuredi, hello, is it possible to renew a HIC card without a job, or one must be a full-time student or employed? Well, it depends on where are you from and what do you do in the Czech Republic. If you're a non-EU citizen, which I would expect from reading your name, I would say you are an Indian. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you are a non-EU citizen and you don't have the PR, the permanent residency in the Czech Republic, then you can only contribute to the public health insurance system if you're employed. For some nationalities, also if you're self-employed, but that's only like 7 or 9 or something like that nationalities, including US citizens. But Indians, for example, cannot contribute to the public healthcare system if you are self-employed. So you basically need to have a job to keep the the European health insurance card. Maxim Schinagel, please car from edit. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. If you care to explain or elaborate. Thanks for your time, my friend. Meta United, you're leaving already. But happy to answer your questions. Hopefully you'll be safe and you'll get here at some point. Let me know if you need any help with your visa applications. Wolf Z. Hi, my question for today is, does your company agency only work with the immigration part, or does it also help in settling and getting job? Well, how to put it? We have two divisions. We have immigration and housing. So in the housing, I start with that, that's easier. In the housing, we help finding accommodation, so we can help you find a flat. We can now, we started partnering with an amazing expert in this field, so we can help you get a mortgage for a flat if you need to get one. We can help you buy a property in the Czech Republic. So this is and of course everything that goes with that. So registering the internet, electricity, gas to your name, all these that go with the accommodation part. Then we have the immigration part, which primarily focuses on immigration, so visas, residence permits, citizenship potentially as well, starting a business, so primarily setting up the trade license for you. We've done a couple SROs as well, but that's not the main thing we do, because like visa wise it doesn't really make sense. It's way harder to get a visa based on SRO than on the trade license, depending on your business plan, but generally I would put it like that. We can help with health insurance. We can also help with like settling down in terms of like finding a school for your kids. We can do orientation, so we can show you around the different neighborhoods and tell you like, okay, this is better place to live because of this and this and this, and a bit worse place to live because of this and this and this. So we can like provide these kind of services. As for finding a job, that's something we don't really do because it's a completely different type of business. You need to have a special license. You need to pay some special fees for that, and it would be basically building completely new type of business. So no, we don't really help with finding jobs, but we help with everything else, as I explained. Alaumar, thanks. Basuredi, thank you. Maxim Schinagel, I'm a Czech Republic. That's good. That's good. How do you... So maybe this might be interesting for you, Maxim, because most Czech people cannot even imagine how difficult it is for non-EU citizens to get a visa to live in the Czech Republic. So might be actually something interesting for you. Wolf Z, thank you very much. How about the fee? The fee is this. No, of course, it depends on what kind of service you need to get or you want to get. Because, yeah, like we have like the official price list listing all our services, and like from top of my head, I would say we do provide like 30 to 40 different services, including different types of visas. Accommodation search also have different options. So it really depends on what exactly you need. If you have anything specific in mind, please get in touch and I'll be happy to send you the appropriate or the pricing accordingly. I cannot say any number generally because it's different for different types of services we provide. Arman Ali, hi. Jai, Jai, thank you very much for Kai. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for joining. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. It's been again 26 minutes, so I will probably wrap it up in about 4 maybe when we reach half an hour. So guys, if you have any more questions, please get in touch or comment. Sorry, I got distracted. Žaneta Zatloukalová, hello you pretty. Oh, are you flirting with me, Žaneta? Yeah, of course, you can ask questions like what's my personal number and where I go to gym, all that. So, Žaneta, if you're interested in that, let me know. Maxim Schinagel, zkusím napsat něco česky, klidně. Já jsem Čech, takže klidně pište česky. Yeah, nevadí to. Wolf Z, Žaneta Zatlouková, no. Okay. So you're not trying to flirt with me. Okay. Wolf Z, just also wondering, do you guys have any position in the company? If so, what the requirements would be needed? Žaneta, ahoj, já myslela, že jsi Angličan, to bych byl mnohem přitažlivější, jo, takhle. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, sorry guys, if you don't understand Czech, she thought that I was an Englishman and so she found me attractive, I guess, and when I spoke Czech and real-time Czech, then she doesn't find me that attractive, so that's a pity. Anyway, Wolf Z, yeah, we actually had one position open. We are now looking for a salesperson. We had it on jobs for 30 days, the standard. Guys, I see the Czech comments and it makes me laugh. Anyway, so we were looking for a salesperson. We are actually doing the last rounds of interviews this week. So the position is still technically open, but we will hopefully choose the right person soon this week. So at this point, still do, but kind of will not have any open position at this point. But we will definitely be looking for an immigration assistant, and we will also be looking for an immigration specialist. So if you think, let's put it this way. We post all the jobs, of course, on the jobs.cz, but also on our website. So if you go to our website and go to the jobs section, there is always the most recent job or position we have open. So if you go to movetoprague.com, that will be the best. You can always check the new positions there. Maxim Schinagel, co, ty jsi Čech, what the fuck? Jsem nečekal, že narazím na Čecha. To se teda omlouvám, že jsem vás takhle tady zranil. Set Osei, what are the main purpose of student visa refusal? I actually did a video about this. What are the most common reasons for a denial? But I would say generally for student, okay. Student, the number one I would say is lack of motivation. Whatever that means, for the ministry, they can use it basically to deny you just because they don't like you. Because the lack of motivation is kind of a weird term, but they use it pretty often. But basically what it means is that you didn't show high enough interest in the program you said you would be studying. So if you want to study, you say, hey, we had this case, it wasn't our client, because usually our clients don't get denied, but they do, but in very like small cases, like I would say like 1% of cases. But I saw this rejection letter, and the rejection reason basically was that the guy during the interview said that this was his long-term goal, lifetime goal, that he always wanted to study this program at this university, that his dream university, all that. And when the immigration officer asked him, okay, so what's the address of the school? He didn't know. If they asked him what's the website of the school, he didn't know. And then it kind of like doesn't match. Like if you say, okay, this has always been my dream, but I don't even know where the school is located and what's their website, it doesn't really look well. And this is like an extreme case to explain the point, but generally it's around this. If you cannot reason why exactly you want to study this, and why exactly in the Czech Republic, why not in some other countries where they might have better programs in this field, and especially what you want to do after the graduation. If you stay here, or if you go to another country, go back to your home country, and what do you want to do with your diploma. That would be probably the number one reason for denials. And number two, usually the lack of money, or the not high enough balance in your document, or that you do it the way that you deposit the money there, then immediately send it to someone else, and then when the ministry requests a new proof of accommodation, they see that you actually never had the money, you just borrowed it from someone, and then you send it back, and that's also kind of faking the document, and they don't like it. So I would say these two, but I definitely did a video about this topic, so go to my channel, search for denial reasons, and you'll find it there. Se nečekal, že narazím na Čecha. Já se jmenuji Sophie, moje máma se jmenuje Žaneta a já jsem na jejím telefonu. OK. Ahoj Sophie, nebo dobrý den Sophie. Děkuji, že jste se připojila, i když ne z vašeho telefonu. Jestli máte nějakou otázku o imigraci, tak dejte vědět. Wolf, OK, thank you very much. I heard you go to gym. What is your personal record in bench and deadlift? Well, honestly, I'll tell you one thing. Guys, if you don't follow me on where? On Instagram. Go to Instagram. It's at Jan Kalina official. Jan Kalina, my name, official. And I did some workout videos there actually. You need to search for it. One is pretty recent, and there are two more a bit like somewhere lower in the feed. But the thing is, I don't really go to a gym. I used to go a lot, but I don't go now, and I primarily do calisthenics, so like push-ups, pull-ups, like handstands, jumping, and parkour as well. So like jumping from like a place to another place, climbing stuff, all that. So I actually don't really remember or don't know what is the deadlift or bench press maximum of me right now. Probably not. I wanted to say probably not that much, but might be good. But I don't know. But if you want to see some parkour videos, then definitely go check my Instagram, Jan Kalina Official, and you'll find some parkour videos there. Maxim Šnágl je vidět, že umíš hodně anglicky. Mluvím anglicky už 25, 27 let, takže myslím, že už něco jsem se naučil. Richard Lví Marek. Migrace do Česka či Anglie? Migrace do Česka či Anglie? A migrace do Česka. Yeah, the question is if migration to the Czech Republic or Britain. Guys, this brings me to a question. Do I have a British accent? I don't think so. But this is the third person who thought I was from England or have something to do with England, or maybe they just hear English and think that's English, British English. But yeah, no, I'm not British, and I don't believe I have a British accent. But yeah. So, any more questions, guys? Let's say we've been doing this for 35 minutes. I should go to sleep in 25 minutes, and I have it like 15 minutes walk in home. So I need to leave soon. So if you have any questions regarding immigration, housing, starting a business, health insurance in the Czech Republic, anything, drop it in the chat and I'll be happy to answer that. If you don't ask anything, I'll leave in like, let's say 5 minutes anyway. I'll leave in 5 minutes anyway. Richard ví Marek, proč do Česka? Já jsem Čech, takže jsme založili s Dariou, spolumajitelkou společnosti, firmu Move to Prague Relocation Services a pomáháme cizincům usadit se v Čechách, protože je spousta cizinců, kteří se do Čech chtějí stěhovat z různých důvodů, ať už si tady našli práci, nebo tady chtějí studovat, podnikat, učit angličtinu třeba. A ty imigrační procesy nejsou úplně jako jednoduchý v České republice. Docela to trvá, může to trvat několik měsíců, třeba 4-6 měsíců, klidně i rok, 2 v některých případech. A je to poměrně komplikovaný, takže tahle služba je pro cizince potřeba. Yeah, there was a question why immigration to the Czech Republic. So I explained that there are plenty of people willing to move to the Czech Republic for different reasons. Either to study or run a business, teach English, find employment, find their partner in the Czech Republic. And the Czech immigration is generally pretty complicated and not really open to foreigners, like visa-wise. People-wise, it's getting better, but the immigration, we've just introduced like the digital nomad visa, and so far it's only for IT and only for 9 nationalities in the world. That probably shows how open we are to like letting people easily live in the Czech Republic. Not much, plus all the processes are pretty complicated. So that's why our services exist. And why we do this, because it's kind of difficult to get a visa for the Czech Republic, and if we can help, we'll do that. Já kámo vůbec neumím anglicky, učitelka mi něco řekne a já co to meleš. OK, hele, já jsem samozřejmě taky neuměl, jako nenarodil jsem se s angličtinou, takže co mě hodně pomohlo, asi se neptáš úplně na radu, jo? Spíš sdílíš nějaký svůj pohled, tak sorry, jestli ta rada není pro tebe, ale mě strašně pomohlo, já jsem se strašně bál mluvit, protože když jsem něco řekl, tak jsem okamžitě věděl, že jsem udělal chybu a nelíbilo se mi to, tak nejjednodušší je prostě do ciziny a tam musíš začít mluvit, jinak prostě umřeš hlady a tak, takže my jsme jezdili na různý výměnný pobyty, vždycky třeba na týden, na 14 dní a tam jsem ztratil tu obavu z toho mluvení a od té doby tu jde jako snadno. Když pak začneš, tak už je to jednoduchý, koukáš na seriály, koukáš na videa, všechno a učíš se strašně jako jednoduše. Takže to bych asi doporučil, pokud tu angličtinu chceš zlepšit, pokud ne, tak samozřejmě nevadí. Yeah guys, that's interesting because usually I don't get too many Czech speakers or Czech people to watch my live streams, so I actually enjoy this and I answer the Czech questions as well. But let's say I have 2 last minutes, so if there is someone English speaking and you want to ask any question regarding Czech immigration, visas, residence permits, health insurance, starting a business, housing, anything, please drop a comment and I'll be happy to answer a question. Remia enjoyed the session today. Happy to hear that. It was pretty interesting in my opinion as well, like combining Czech and English and different topics. So I'm happy you enjoyed it as well. Thank you. Richard Lví Marek, Max, zkus překládat seriály. Okay, to je rada taky pro Maxe, super. Jo, to je dobrý, taky poslouchat seriály a dát si tam titulky, ale tam už musíš mít trošku nějaký, aspoň musíš tam slyšet ty slova a tak, no. Shafan. Is the year gap an issue when applying for a student visa, long-term visa? I'm 27 years old. I have already applied for the visa, waiting for the result. You commented this in like under one of my videos. I replied to that earlier today. I remember the comment, but I would not see it much as a problem. But it depends on the rest of the application and especially how you did during the interview. If you had an interview, or how you will do during the interview if they invite you for an interview later. Because 1 year gap is kind of explainable, but you still need to explain you're 27. So I guess you even like finish masters somewhere else, and what do you want to study here. If it's another master's, it might be a bit weird and they might ask more questions. If it's PhD, kind of makes sense, it's the next step. So it's not only about 1 year gap. I can see applications being denied with 1 year gap. I can see applications being approved with 1 year gap. So it's related to other things as well, mainly the interview. Lorraine CA, how much money should I have or my Czech husband should have in the bank account for request my temporary residence permit? If you're married, you don't need to prove any income, any money, any funds. That's because what happened some time ago was that the ministry split the definition of a family member of a new citizen. One is a close family member and one is a distant family member. Distant family member basically means you're just dating and you're not married. Close family member means you're married or your kids or in some cases your parents, but that's pretty tricky. But if you're a married couple, you don't need to prove any income, any finances at all. That would only need to be proven if you were not married. If you were just dating and you were applying for the partnership visa as like an unmarried couple, then you would need to be, but you would need to show that you're making enough. That would not be enough to have some amount in the bank. You would need to show that you're making enough on monthly basis. Dík Richard Limarek, that's pretty good. You see, your English is not that bad. Okay guys, so thank you very much. It was another 41 minutes, 42 minutes with you answering your questions. So thank you very much for joining and I will see you again on Subhash. Hello Jan. Bye Subhash, I'm actually just leaving. But I will see you again Thursday, Monday until the end of the world. Bye guys, good night.